Brothers, if you have ever felt overwhelmed in your spiritual battles, if you have ever felt like the temptations, the distractions, and the pressures of this world are simply too many and too strong, then this message is for you. Stay with me to the very end. What we cover today can change the way you fight your battles. It can give you a strategy that makes the overwhelming suddenly manageable. We are in the middle of a series called Robert Greene's Strategies of War, a Christian Perspective. If you have not seen the earlier strategies, I encourage you to watch them after this video. But for now, I want to review the last lesson before we go forward. In our last video, we explored strategy number 5, avoid the snare of groupthink. We talked about the danger of following the herd, about the fear of man, and about the importance of obeying God even if you stand alone. Acts chapter 5 verse 29 captures this perfectly. Peter said, "We must obey God rather than men." If you missed that episode, go back and watch it when you are done here, because each of these strategies builds on the others. Now let us move to strategy number 6, divide and conquer, the controlled opposition strategy. Robert Greene observes that one of the oldest tactics in war is to divide your enemy's forces. No army can fight effectively if it is split into smaller parts that cannot communicate, cannot support each other, and cannot unify under one mission. The Romans used this strategy again and again. They would isolate tribes or rival groups, play one against another, and then conquer them piece by piece. Greene says that wise commanders do not always attack the strongest enemy head-on. Instead, they break the enemy into smaller battles, weaker factions, or divided loyalties. When the enemy is split, their power collapses. This is the essence of divide and conquer. First, we need to recognize that the devil already uses this strategy against us. Mark chapter 3 verse 25 says, "If a house is divided against itself, that house cannot stand." The devil knows this. He works tirelessly to divide families, divide churches, and even divide your own mind. He tempts you with double-mindedness, where you want holiness on Sunday but compromise on Monday. He tempts churches with petty divisions over personalities or preferences. He tempts nations with endless conflict so that no one can stand together. C.S. Lewis in the Screwtape Letters describes this tactic brilliantly. Screwtape says that one of the best ways to weaken a Christian is to make him angry at his own church family. He encourages Wormwood to keep the believer focused on irritating habits of others rather than on the presence of Christ. Division is the devil's weapon. If he can split us into isolated, frustrated, distracted men, then he does not need to defeat us in open battle. But Greene's strategy has another layer. Just as the enemy uses division against us, we can use holy division against sin. Sometimes we are overwhelmed because we see our whole life of temptation, our whole mountain of struggle, and it feels impossible. But what if we divided the stronghold into smaller battles? Proverbs chapter 21 verse 31 says, "The horse is made ready for the day of battle, but the victory belongs to the Lord. You prepare step by step." God grants the victory, battling lust. Do not say, "I will be pure forever." Say, "I will guard my eyes today. I will put my phone down tonight. I will confess this week." Divide the battle into smaller fronts, battling anger. Do not say, "I will never be angry again." Say, "I will hold my tongue in this one conversation. I will pray before I respond to this one message," battling anxiety. Do not say, "I will never worry again." Say, "I will cast today's burden on the Lord. I will pray over this one decision." I will quote Philippians chapter 4, verses 6 and 7 right now. Paul writes, "Do not be anxious about anything, but in everything by prayer and supplication with thanksgiving, let your requests be made known to God. And the peace of God, which surpasses all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds in Christ Jesus." That is divide and conquer. You break down the overwhelming into smaller victories of obedience. G.K. Chesterton once said, "The Christian faith has not been tried and found wanting. It has been found difficult and left untried." Why? Because men try to swallow the whole battle at once. They collapse under the weight of total reform. But divide and conquer makes obedience possible. It allows you to face one temptation, one decision, one battle at a time. Here is the paradox. While we divide our battles against sin, we must also unite with brothers in Christ. Ecclesiastes chapter 4 verse 12 says, "Though one may be overpowered, two can defend themselves. A cord of 3 strands is not quickly broken. The devil wants us divided from one another." But God calls us to divide the strongholds of sin while uniting as brothers in prayer, in accountability, and in worship. This is the true command and control strategy for the Christian life. Let me paint this picture. One man looks at his whole life of struggle and despairs. He says, "I will never be holy. I cannot overcome my past. I cannot face all my temptations." So he quits. Another man takes one battle at a time. He says, "Today I will not bow to lust. Today I will forgive the one who wronged me. Today I will rise early and pray." Over weeks and months, his victories add up. He is not perfect, but he is faithful, and God builds him into a soldier who stands. This is divide and conquer applied to the Christian walk. Perhaps you feel overwhelmed right now. Your mind is divided, your life is scattered. You have tried to fight everything at once and failed. Hear the words of Jesus in Matthew chapter 11 verses 28 to 30. "Come to me, all who labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you, and learn from me. For I am gentle and lowly in heart, and you will find rest for your souls. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light." Do not fight everything at once. Take his yoke. Fight the battle he places in front of you today. Brothers, if this message gave you clarity, subscribe, like, and share it. Leave a comment below. What single battle will you fight today? In our next episode, we will study strategy number 7, create a threatening presence deterrence strategies. We will see how standing firm in Christ creates a presence that pushes back the enemy. And do not forget to check out True Rock Men's Ministries for teaching, for brotherhood, and for practical tools to help men stand firm. Remember, divide the enemy, conquer sin one battle at a time, and unite with your brothers in Christ. This is how we fight, and this is how we win.